Alright, today's lesson is lesson 14, decimal review. We're just going to touch the concepts that are on your review worksheet and then you're going to solve most of it on your own. Alright, the first section says convert the following fractions to decimals. Your first one is 23 over 100. Remember, you can always divide inside, outside. So you have 23 divided by 100. We're going to go ahead and add our decimal, because 100 cannot go into 23, and add our placeholder 0. 100 can go into 230 2 times. That's 200. We subtract, and we're left with 30. We add another placeholder 0, bring it down. 100 goes into 300 3 times, and you're left with a remainder of 0. Now, you could have just written this number down here, and then remember every whole number has a decimal to the right of it. You have 2 zeros in your denominator. Move it to the left 2 times. So your answer is 0.23 or 0.23. The 0 is just a placeholder. Okay, remember you can always divide if the shortcut doesn't make sense. That is completely and perfectly fine. Please do whichever one is going to help you get the right answer. All right, the next section says convert the following decimals to fractions. And we're going to go ahead and do number 9. 1 and 56 thousandths. Sorry, I'll put that there so it doesn't look confusing. Okay, so you have a whole number. So this is going to be a mixed number. And then you have 3 places to the right of the decimal, so you need 3 zeros. This is your thousandths place, 56 thousandths. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next page, which is a decimal operations review. This page has 12 questions that have to do with adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing decimals, and their word problems. I'm going to show you something with adding and subtracting decimals because there were quite a few issues on those in the papers that were turned in last week. So what I want you to do is to use graph paper. Graph paper will help you with lining up your numbers. So let's look at number 1. Okay, first let me move this. It's not going to move on us. All right. Number 1 says 8 and 78 hundredths plus 6.2, or 6 and 2 tenths. So put your decimal, the 6 is to the left of it, the 2 is to the right of it. Use a placeholder 0, and then add. 8 plus 0 is 8, 7 plus 2 is 9, 8 plus 6 is 14. I really think if you use graph paper, it's going to help you because a lot of you are having issues lining up your decimals and then the correct numbers in the correct places on their place value, okay? You can download graph paper off of the internet. You can make your own graph paper, and a lot of you should have some, okay? All right, so that's going to be number 1. I'll do number 3 as well, and we'll use graph paper again. All right, so this one is number 3. So 21 and 9 tenths minus 4 and 5 tenths. You see here how I gave an entire column to the decimal so that I knew it lined up. 9 minus 5 is 4. Place your decimal. You have to borrow here. 11 minus 4 is 7. 1 minus 0 is 1. Your answer is 17 and 4 tenths. All right, let's look at number 5. For multiplication, it's not super important that you use graph paper to line up your decimals because what you do is you count the numbers behind the decimal or to the right of the decimal, okay? So let's look at number 5. All right, number 5 says 7 and 2 tenths times 5. 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 7 is 35, plus 1 is 36. You have one number to the right of the decimal, so one number to the right of the decimal in your answer. Your answer is 36. All right, let's look at number 9. which is a word problem. Number 9 says Sam, Jesse, and Emma go out for burgers. The total cost is $21.39. How much will each person pay if they split the cost equally? So here's your word problem. Let's go ahead and circle all of our numbers. Okay. And there actually is a number here because it tells you how many people. Okay, underline your question. Box in your keywords. Evaluate and solve. Now, if you look at your keywords paper that I gave you, one of the keywords that is there is each. Okay, or how many will each, or okay, and that's a keyword under division. You can also see that when it says they split the cost equally, so they're taking the $21.39 and dividing it over the number of people. Well, there are 3 people, so you're going to do $21.39 divided by 3 people. Don't forget to line up your decimal, and I will leave that one for you to solve. Okay, the next ones you should be able to finish on your own. Please feel free to use your keyword sheet to help you with your answers. I did an example of all the ones above, so you are left with 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 10, 11, 12. All right, and that is your review sheet for today. Please feel free as you do this to go back and watch any videos that you need to do, and when you take your your quiz this week, when you take your quiz, please feel free to use any of the videos. Please feel free to use your review worksheet to help you with that. There is one thing that I forgot to put on your review worksheet that is on your quiz, so I'll do a quick example of that, and it's shading in to represent decimals. All right, so here we have our 100 grid, and let's say that we are given the number 1800. What you would do is you would shade in 18 of these squares. You have 18 out of 100 shaded in. That's what it means by 1800. It is part of a whole. Okay, written as a fraction, this would be 18 over 100. All right, and that's your review video for this week. Again, please feel free to use this as you take your quiz. Use any of the other videos that you need. I am here for questions if you have any. Please do not hesitate to ask so that we can clear things up before you take your test next week. Have a great day.